Joe Manchin is the Democrats' heat shield in the United States Senate. What do I mean by that? Maggie Hassan won her Senate seat in New Hampshire with 0.14% of the vote, and she's up for re-election next year. She gets 0.14% of the scrutiny of Kristen Sinema on the filibuster and everything else, according to Dave Cantonese from McClatchy News. Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire doesn't want the filibuster to go away. Angus King of Maine, he's an independent who affiliates with the Democrats. He doesn't either. Here he is talking on CNN with Jake Tapper.
Not in general. I'm very reluctant about it, but if it comes down to voting rights and the rights of Americans to go to the polls and select their leaders versus the filibuster, I'll choose democracy.
He'll choose democracy over the filibuster, he says, except he knows he doesn't have to have that opportunity. He and other Democrats in the Senate can say these sorts of things because Joe Manchin protects them. He shields them from media scrutiny. Think of all the number of times Joe Manchin has been asked about the filibuster since he signed an op-ed in the Washington Post, submitted an op-ed in the Washington Post saying he wasn't in favor of getting rid of it. And they asked him about it chronically and constantly. Now he comes out with an op-ed in his own West Virginia newspaper, the Charleston, West Virginia newspaper, and he says something the Democrats are livid about. He points something out. This is from Joe Manchin's op-ed over the weekend. Are the very Republican senators who voted to impeach Trump because of actions that led to an attack on our democracy unwilling to support actions to strengthen our democracy? Are these same senators whom many in my party applauded for their courage now threats to the very democracy we seek to protect? That's Joe Manchin pointing out the Democratic rhetoric on their For the People Act doesn't match the reality. But if you're a Democrat and you consume your news from the New York Times and MSNBC and increasingly from CNN, you don't actually know about the rest of the world out there. You don't understand that this law isn't a big deal for most people except progressive activists. You don't understand that most people are okay with the filibuster. You don't understand that most Democratic senators actually want to preserve the filibuster because otherwise every vote would be a pressure point for them, and many of them are way more moderate than the Democratic base. That's just the reality. The Democratic progressive base have moved so far to the left, Donald Trump is closer to the mainstream. And to bring that full circle, that's exactly why the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee has chosen to reject James Carville's advice on making everything about Donald Trump and January 6th. It plays well with partisans in the press who are of the left. It plays well with partisan progressives. It doesn't play well with everybody else. If you're inside a partisan progressive bubble, you think everybody hates Donald Trump when he came within 43,000 votes of winning re-election. If you're within the partisan progressive bubble, you think democracy is about to be undone unless this law passes, because that's what the Democrats say. It's left-wing QAnon. Joe Manchin just killed the For the People Act. Is democracy dead or not today? Is democracy dead or not today? If you're progressive and you believe the Democratic bubble, you would believe that, yes, democracy is dead today. The problem is it's not, and you don't realize it because of the bubble you're in. The rest of us, we live in this bubble called reality. You should join us there.